As the state government is looking forward to legalize online gambling, Chief Minister Conrad Sangma has stated that the government is weighing the tax benefits and revenue source with the social aspect. He said that for the last 25 years, gambling has been ongoing in the state but without proper rules and regulations. However, with this step, there will be proper guidelines. He further added that there is no prospect of expanding it to other parts of the state besides the proposed areas of Bernihat, Jorabad and border areas leading to Guwahati.
Different forms of gaming, online gaming, offline gaming, have been taking place in the state for the past 20-25 years. If you go to different locations within Shillong, if you go to different locations in other towns, there are different kind of gaming parlors that are functioning even today. There are no rules to regulate them. They've never been. And obviously when that happens, then technically it's not a legalized system of functioning. So the objective of the government, while we worked towards bringing a law, was number one, to ensure that these gaming parlors and any of these gaming activities that are already happening, it's not yesterday or today or tomorrow they're going to start. They're already there, running for the last 20-25 years. But there was no regulation to regulate them. So therefore, there is a need to regulate them. Obviously, otherwise technically they'll be illegal. There's a need to regulate them also because there are certain forms of taxes and revenue that the state can earn. So therefore, it started with that objective. Now coming to any kind of aspect of a casino or any kind of aspect of future expansion in that line, let me be very, very clear that yes, the government needs revenue source. And revenue is important. We need so many aspects of the social sector which we need to fund. So much of revenue is required for different needs of government employees, teachers, all these things. So revenue is required. But while we look at revenue, how do we ensure that the social fabric of the state and the youth especially are not impacted? So to minimize these aspects in the future, if there is any kind of a move in that line, we are very clear that it will not be anywhere pre or before Bernihat area. We are looking at an area that is going to be beyond Bernihat, in Khanapara and in that area that is bordering Guwahati. Because to be very frank, that's where the market also will be much bigger. So therefore, if we do move in the future, there is no question of any kind of such activity, new activities that is. As I said, there were already existing ones for the last 25 years. These are gaming parlors. Those need to be regulated. But beyond that, there's no question of bringing in any kind of casinos or changing the structure of, say, Shillong or Tura or any of the towns, nothing like that. But to take advantage of the entire situation, if we do work in that line, then it will be somewhere that will be closer to the Guwahati border, and we're looking at trying to capture the market in that line.
The Chief Minister also stated that the state government is taking up the issue of garbage disposal in Jowai town seriously, and a number of meetings are being held on the matter.
Deputy Chief Minister and the Honourable Urban Affairs Minister and the local MLA, they had multiple meetings. In fact, as we speak, I think the meeting is still going on, or it must have just ended. They had met yesterday also. This is a very complicated problem, the reason being that the different locations which we are identifying for the to dump the garbage, there is a resistance from almost all the locations, and nobody is allowing any place to be used as a dumping ground area. So it's a situation where the government is now having to take a tough stand. I'm sure that the Honourable Deputy Chief Minister or the Urban Affairs Minister will take the stand, and they will, we've already discussed it, but it's not proper for me to mention it, but maybe today or tomorrow the final outcome will come out, and then we'll process. It's not a solution that we can find in one go. I have to remember that. It's we need to find a temporary phase. Then in a medium level, we have to find, again, a medium level. And in the long term, there has to be a solution that is going to be much more sustainable in nature. And we have started doing that in some of the municipal areas. Like for example, in Tura, we had tied up with a South Korean company. I'm happy to tell you that their garbage disposal system of converting waste to energy blocks is working really well. And these energy blocks are coming out, but again, I'll take maybe some of you to see that technology, and if we see that it runs well, and by the way, we didn't spend anything on it, in case somebody asks how much we spent on it. It was completely done by them. They just want the energy blocks that they will sell on their own. But we help them with the transportation cost to bring the machinery here. So like that, we'll have to look at the long-term solution also. But I think by today or by tomorrow, the Honorable Deputy Chief Minister or the Urban Affairs Minister will be briefing the press on the decision that is made. But I just wanted to tell you that I'm in the loop, and we have decided that what we should do.
Meanwhile, reacting to a query on the appointment of a new Director General of Police, Chief Minister Conrad Sangma said that they have received the recommendations from the UPSC and the Cabinet will sit and discuss on the recommendations made for the appointment of a new DGP.
The recommendations have already come from the UPSC. So now the government just simply has to make a decision on the recommendation come by the UPSC. So UPSC, the list has come from UPSC, that based on that recommendation, the government will sit and take a call.